This time on Hot Shots, Jerry battles the heat.
I was panting like a dog.
And all the problems that come with it.
To get out of breath, you can really start bouncing around with your lungs expanding, trying to hold position.
I just got there out of horsepower and it played on itself.
And Max tries not to miss on an early season opportunity.
I'm freaking out at this point. I only see one hole in the target.
He's won just about every match there is to win. World speed shooting titles, national championships. But there's one glaring hole in Max Michel's resume. And this year, everything is geared toward filling it.
The IPSC World Shoot is coming up, and it means more to me than anything in my career at this moment, and I have to do everything within my power to grasp it.
This year's World Shoot is in Florida, and though it's still 5 months away, every match, every stage, every squeeze of the trigger is in preparation for it.
Just because we're 5 months away doesn't mean I can sit around and do nothing. There's plenty of time. No, it's going to go quick. The equipment issues, the physical preparation that I need to work on, there's so much that has to happen within these next 5 months, and yeah, it's my time and I got to make it happen.
This week's training ground is in the Deep South at the Mississippi Classic. At the halfway point, Max has a commanding lead, all but irrelevant considering that in the build-up to October, his biggest competition is himself.
It doesn't matter whether I'm leading by 5 points or 500 points at this competition. What I'm looking at doing is trying to compete against myself. How can I get better? How can I make myself a world champion at the end of the year? And that's what I'm concerned with.
I knew you were watching. Hey guys.
Still, among the distractions he's dealing with this week are his 3 kids.
From over there to over there, I said, I gotta run fast because the lightning fast is watching.
This is only the second match they've come to. 3 young kids, you have to figure one of them's gonna want to go home at some point, and the 2-year-old's already ready to tap out.
But when it's time to work, Max is quickly back on task.
Went well. I was able to explode out to the first position, and I felt like I was moving pretty good to the second position. Reload went really well and smooth up the bridge, no problems. It was a fun stage. I felt aggressive. I felt accurate, and I needed that. I wanted to do that in front of the kids, and I needed it to kind of progress through this match.
It's tilting, no, but my gun was tilting. It's like a lot, like this. And then I was hoping I could just
For the legendary Jerry Michelek, it's almost always bring your daughter to work day. Lena Michelek is now 19 and newly married, a combination that would be a distraction to many. But not Lena. In her 3rd full-time season on the circuit, she's unquestionably the most dominant lady 3-gunner in the sport.
I think Lena learned her killer instincts from her mom. They can get pretty brutal on the line, and she's got a little bit of that killer instinct in her. So when you got good vision skills and you got a killer in you also, it all makes for a good competitor.
It's the midway point of the Rockcastle ProAm in Kentucky. And as usual, Lena is out in front.
Like she's chasing you down.
I know, I hate that. I'm gonna have to quit coaching her. That's knowledge. That's knowledge can't be used against you in a court of law, so nicely done, lady.
But it's not all roses all the time.
Just shut your headrest.
That's fine. I'm okay with it. It's not my car.
She's a little tight this morning. Got a lot going on. She'll come out of it.
Gotta get back to business here shortly.
Her next chance comes on a stage where long-range rifle targets will provide the biggest challenge.
What's going to be hard on this stage of fire? It looks to be extremely simple, but it has a multitude of ways to do it. What you have to do as a competitor, of course, is pick the best one and the fastest one. And also, it's going to be extremely hot out today. Long-range targets, small targets, you get out of breath. You can really start bouncing around with your lungs expanding, trying to hold position. So that's something you want to think about before you shoot.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
I'm not happy with it. Today, I've got to do something that I've been happy with. I feel pretty bad today. I don't really want to be out here, which is a bad attitude to show up with. So I'm going to change that.
Lena's dad is up next, and he's planning an entirely different approach than his daughters, albeit a risky one.
I'm going to shoot the rifle, the long-range part, on the using the wall for support on the last position. I think it might give me an edge.
Hot Shots is presented by Cheaper Than Dirt, America's ultimate shooting sports discounter, and sponsored by Daniel Defense, lighter, stronger, better, and by Mossberg and the 930 JM Pro, the official shotgun of Jerry Michel. Hot Shots proudly supports the National Rifle Association. We'll even pay $10 toward your new or renewing membership to the NRA when you sign up through HotShotsTV.net. The Rockcastle Shooting Center sits just up the road from Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is home to the National Corvette Museum. This week, it's Rockcastle that's home to an American legend. At the Rockcastle ProAm, temperatures hovering around 100 degrees are starting to have an effect on the field of 500-plus shooters. Jerry Michel has just watched daughter Lena struggle on a stage heavy on long-range rifle targets and will take a different approach.
Lena's idea on this stage is to use the car for a prop more than I'm going to do. When I get to that car position, I'm just going to try to get my minimum rounds there, go down to the wall, which is going to be like 25 yards closer to the targets, and there's a trash can there. I'm going to use it for support on my right elbow. I think I can mount up and make my long-range shots there more effectively.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
In hindsight, his approach was the wrong one.
Not good. Ran out of horsepower. If I had to do it again, I'd shoot those long range sooner, so I'd have more wind. I just got there out of horsepower, and it played on itself. So, kind of learned something.
And I was panting like a dog, and that really made the sight oscillations way out of what I could control.
Stand by.
On the next stage, the second to last of the match, Jerry is able to rediscover his groove.
I'll take it. Wasn't perfect, but it wasn't terrible, so this heat's starting to take its toll, so I'm happy with it.
But it might not be enough. In another squad, Clint Upchurch is on top of his game as well. The Open Division Championship will once again come down to the wire.
It always seems that when Clint's at a match, he and I are going to butt heads somewhere, and it looks like this match is going to be no different than any other one we've competed against one another at. So it's going to be interesting to see how we finish.
Stand by.
Just because you're competing in a mid-major championship, and just because your primary focus is winning a world championship come October, doesn't mean you can't do some world-class multitasking.
And then as we talked about that one inside targets next to the barrel, we want to make sure we have some slight hesitation in there. We can't just shoot them as we're rolling by.
Not only is Max Michel competing in the Mississippi Classic,
That's how you win.
not only does he have his wife and 3 kids to look after, but this week he's also playing another of his favorite roles, teacher.
It's just a passion of mine. If I'm not competing, I love teaching. For the soldier, for the military, law enforcement, or competitive shooter, it's always been a great passion to see that light bulb go off.
After a week of private lessons in Louisiana, Max is having his student, a doctor from South Texas, apply what he's learned under match conditions.
Just mainly want to make sure he stays in total control and shoots within himself. Not concerned with the blistering run, just want to make sure he's doing proper technique and hitting the targets at a high rate of speed.
Stand by.
That'll be a learning experience for him. He actually engaged the target. Magazine fell out, so he had a miss on target, but by the time he realized what happened, inserted a new magazine, racked it, got back in there. It was probably a good 6 or 7 seconds, and the miss here was only worth about 2 seconds at most, so. I wanted to yell, don't shoot, but then I would have got a penalty for coaching, so that's how it goes.
Stand by.
The teacher's turn on the penultimate stage is a study in speed. But perhaps not in accuracy.
Not good. Finished the run, seems to be a good run, and walking up to check my targets as I always do, and I only see 1 hole in the target. And of course I didn't call a miss, so I'm freaking out at this point, and I asked for an overlay.
To Charlie.
For a second there I had quite a scare that maybe I had 2 misses, and it ended up being a great run with no misses at all. So worked out good for me. So another good stage.
The Mississippi Classic is winding down. And one Max Michel already has victory in his grasp. It's the other Max Michel, Max Sr., who's now fighting for a title of his own, High Senior.
I remember years ago we used to shoot together and compete together, and he would always beat me, and there was one day I finally beat him, and I just felt so bad. I'm like, oh man, and I said, Dad, I'm sorry, and you probably let me beat you because I'm your son. Same stuff my son tells me, and he's like, son, the time you beat me, you earned it, and yeah, since then, we've just been great rivalry since.
Max Sr.'s run is good enough to secure him High Senior honors.
Bye.
And with another blazing run of his own, Max Jr. wraps up the overall title. Max's time in Mississippi has been productive. He's dealt with family distractions and using borrowed equipment, and still managed to win. It's a good sign as he begins the rest of his summer and the long road to the World Shoot in October.
It was a great event, learned a lot here, was able to spend time with family and friends, some people that I don't get to typically see very often, but you know, the only thing that matters for me, the absolute only thing that matters for me is being the IPSC World Champion at the end of the year, and there's still so much more work to be done.
At the Rockcastle ProAm in Park City, Kentucky, Lena Michelek is putting the finishing touches on yet another victory in the ladies division. Her dad, on the other hand, will need something special if he hopes to overtake Clint Upchurch, who's just finished his match with a blistering run on another stage. The two old foes typically squad together, but not this week.
Wow, very nice. Clear.
If I'm shooting that close to somebody and score-wise, I like to have a visual on him so I can up my game or tailor it back or whatever. And he's not there, so I'm just guessing at what he's doing.
To overtake Clint, Jerry will have to better the time of 49.02 seconds that Clint already posted on this stage.
Verbal command will begin. The shooter's indicated ready. Stand by. Show me clear.
Not only is his time not fast enough, but Jerry had a 10-second no-shoot penalty on top of it. Clint Upchurch is the Rockcastle Pro-Am Open Division champion. Jerry falls to third.
I had one shot in there. I wish I wouldn't have happened, but it's the way it is. All you can do is try. Kind of aggravating. It's what it is. It'd be easy, everybody be doing it.